Today we are going to talk about the Roan Group Laserdiscs in my collection. Now, there were only 58 released from the Roan Group. I don't have all of them. I'm not sure if I'll get all of them, but I have, I'd say at least half or more than half. Most of these were released between 1995 and 1999, the bulk of which were later, 97 through 99. Really interesting boutique label. They concentrated on a lot of noir, B-movies, horror, some westerns, some even public domain titles, like Suddenly, and really interesting approach because their packaging is very unique. The jackets, especially in the later editions, are as thick as what we saw on the Japanese Laserdiscs, so very high quality. They include lots of extras on the discs, and then within the jackets themselves, they often come with a lot of extras, which you don't see very often with other non-special edition Laserdiscs. So I've got these in number order, similar to Criterion. This was the first one in my collection. That's a Roan Group Laserdisc 9403. That's how they numbered them, 4 numbers, which also is on their UPC code. I'll tell you up front, I have not seen most of these films, but I really love what they do, and every time I do watch one of them, I love them. And the great thing about Roan Group and these types of movies is they're pretty short. They're 80 minutes sometimes, so whenever I don't really know what to watch, I can throw one of these in and know I'm going to see something really interesting. This is the Zayn Grey collection. Zayn Grey, a famous author of sort of pulp westerns. These include 3 different films, starring Cooper, Randall Scott, John Wayne. Pretty straightforward packaging. This is one of their early ones. Nothing special here. We move on to Night Train to Munich, and now you're starting to see some really great cover art. This is a disc I believe Criterion released on DVD. Nice liner notes. Roan Group was located in Thomasville, Georgia. This is one of the first with cool insert. And again, this is the kind of thing you saw in Japanese Laserdiscs. Nice little booklet there to tell you about the film. Bela Lugosi in White Zombie. I'll let Sam Hatch tell me for sure, but I would imagine that's where the band got their name from. This one does also feature an insert, very much like the last one. And the other cool thing about these discs is the label themselves. That's pretty unique. Very plain, simple label, black label for White Zombie. And again, these first few are not gatefolds, and the packaging is pretty similar to a regular Laserdisc. They're not the thickness that you'll see later on. This is Naked City, it's still sealed. It comes from Laser Blazer, who some of you may know was a big Laserdisc dealer on the West Coast in the 90s and still has a store on LDDB if you want to find him. This does have commentary tracks, 2 separate ones. Now, of course, with collecting, occasionally you'll buy something twice by mistake, so when I was getting ready for this video, I realized I had 2 copies of Naked City. Another cool label. The Most Dangerous Game, often filmed story of a group of people on an island hunting other people. This has a commentary track, and you see that running time, 63 minutes. This one had a really cool insert. Burt Lancaster in Brute Force. 96 minutes. I believe this is about the time they start using the Roan Group Laserdisc Classics and putting that right in the title. And this is a gatefold, pretty thick cardboard, double feature, Angel on My Shoulder, and Svengali. Sci-fi classic presented in theatrical widescreen format. This one notes the commentary track right on the cover. Producer's edition. This is a flat 185:1. Now we're getting to some of the horror they did. This is Alice, Sweet Alice. Introducing Brooke Shields. Director's cut. Originally known as Communion. This was from 1997. Horror Classics, another double feature. Same commentary by Herman Cohen. Also with a paper insert. And this cardboard is very, very thick. It's hard to tell, but that is sturdy. This is the Great St. Louis Bank Robbery starring young Steve McQueen in widescreen. It is black and white. 88 minutes. Another double feature. I'm not sure exactly what these were priced at when they first came out, but this one does have what looks like an original price sticker of $69.98. This is 79 minutes and 92 minutes of film. Raw Deal and the T-Man, these are Anthony Mann film noirs. They moved the banner to the bottom for this one. Room at the Top with Lawrence Harvey. Another double feature, film noir, Borderline and Cause for Alarm. It seems as though they've now moved to Hayesville, North Carolina. This is 1997. Here's one I have seen and really loved, Ida Lupino's The Hitchhiker. Ida Lupino, one of the very first female film directors of her time. This one comes in a gold commemorative edition. Now, we're used to seeing gold rentals in Japan, but this was an actual gold disc released by Roan. And this is a really interesting insert, why we made The Hitchhiker. Kind of presented as a newspaper. Very clever. Whoever had this disc originally also printed out a definition of film noir from a film book and included it inside. I also watched this one, William Powell, The Kennel Murder Case. This is a double feature. This is the Philo Vance detective who I'd not heard of at all until I happened to pick this up. It is a double bill with an Errol Flynn movie called The Santa Fe Trail in beautiful sepia tone. But I really, really liked this Kennel Murder Case and then discovered that there was about 5 or 6 films featuring the Philo Vance detective with William Powell playing that character, but there were lots of other actors who also played that character. And Kino released a Blu-ray of just the William Powell ones earlier this year, which I picked up. This is 98, actually. The Night Tide. This features a young Dennis Hopper. The commentary track actually features Dennis Hopper and the director Curtis Harrington. Rowan also did a bunch of Hammer releases. This one is from the Hammer film collection, Shatter. It is widescreen from 1998. Another Hammer collection, The Unusual and Controversial Star British Film, Four-Sided Triangle. I have yet to find out what's controversial about it, but I will watch it. 81 minutes. Includes a reproduction of the original press book. That's what a lot of these inserts are that you've seen. This is what was handed out to the press when the film came out, as well as ad-ready art that the exhibitors can use to promote the film. Fantastic cover, The Bat Whispers. For the first time in the original widescreen format Magnafilm. Bat Whispers and The Bat with Vincent Price. Anyone who reveals who I am will have to answer to The Bat, so no spoilers. DOA, you might remember the remake with Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. This is the original, along with Quicksand, featuring Mickey Rooney. Super thick spine and cardboard on these. Now we're getting into some Italian horror. Mario Bava's Blood and Black Lace. Bava became known much more as a horror director, but his early films are essentially giallos. This is the widescreen edition, but it is in black and white. From 1965. Now this is the film that really turned me on to the giallo genre. Dario Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Beautiful edition, the uncut 35mm version in widescreen. It is not in black and white. It is in beautiful color. Music by Ennio Morricone. I highly recommend, if you have not seen a giallo, to start with this. From 1969. This was released on Rowan in 1998. Also from Dario Argento, Phenomena, uncut and uncensored. That is a young Jennifer Connelly. It is widescreen. It is also AC3 Dolby Digital. There's about 5 Rowan discs that are AC3, released in 1998 or 9. And finally, the last Rowan Group Laserdisc release ever, Lane Blacktop, one of the seminal late 60s, early 70s road movies like The Vanishing. This one features James Taylor, Warren Oates, Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys. Really cool film. This is a 2.35:1 scope movie, also Dolby Digital, released late, I think November of 1999. So not only late for Rowan, but late for the format in general. One of the last. And it does have a commentary track with the director, Monty Hellman. There you go. Those are my Rowan Classics discs. I might continue to collect them as I see them, and who knows, maybe I'll get them all. But right now, glad to have them on the shelf.